Recording is on.
Thank
Hi
you so much,
everyone. Oh,
Xena,
hi.
for being
Xena.
here.
Xena, yeah.
And I hope you being comfortable to tell us a little bit about your self and about your spiritual path. What brought you here? So please
Yeah.
start. Thank you.
Thank you. So basically what brought me here to this point is many things. I think growing up, you kind of have a sense that you're a little bit different from other people when you have a spiritual purpose that often reveals itself later in life. But when I was growing up, I was very anxious, very shy, and I was sort of feeling like I was an outsider and didn't really belong. So a lot of people on the spiritual path can relate to this. They're like empaths or very sensitive. They can feel energy and they naturally have this feeling that they're here to do something bigger, but they don't know exactly what it is. And then as you like for me personally, I struggled with a lot of mental health, physical health issues, being isolated, being alone, um, having a lot of family trauma, sexual abuse, things like this. They sort of lay the foundation of being a healer or someone who's on this path. And once you learn how to heal yourself and master those things within yourself, it shows and people start to recognize that you have this light within you and then they are curious about the light within themselves. So then they often see that and they say, "Oh, like you seem like you know yourself or you have a connection with your soul. How do I do that?" And then that's sort of how I became a healer, as well as other things where um, I started getting drawn to different healing methods, kind of a wide range of things. I started off with yoga and meditation, mostly just to help myself and my anxiety and depression, and working with a lot of mindfulness as well, like just learning how to master your own mind, your own body, your own energy. And then gradually, I went into learning about tarot and channeling. Came kind of naturally. I was initiated by my guides about how to channel and how to do more advanced healing and light codes and light language. And then I sort of went into becoming like a healer and activator for other people. And yeah, I took some time offline to just work on some personal stuff. And now I'm back online again after a hiatus. So I'm happy to be here and to start to reconnect with people again online.
Okay. So when you were a young child, do you have any special, how we call it, events like see things, hear things, feel
Yeah, yeah.
things?
So there's different clairs that people have. So for me, I have pretty much all the clairs, but my main ones are clairsentience, like which is clear feeling, so I can feel energy very in a very detailed manner, and also clairvoyance and clairaudience. Like I see visions all the time. I see light codes like wherever I go, and I see, you know, just energy moving. And then I also hear narration in my head and mind all the time, and I get instructions about like what to do or what to say to a person during a reading or things like that as well. And then claircognizance is like clear knowing, like just having a gut feeling about something as well. And then clairaugulence is like there's like taste and smell ones too, but those ones are less frequent for me. I mostly work with the main four.
Okay, so several people I have interviewed, they have somewhere in time um, a special moment, an event, uh, almost the same depression. Do you know what is depression is? Psychological depression. You have been through that?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't
Yes.
fully hear you.
I was telling you that most of the people that start a spiritual journey, somewhere in time they've got a depression.
Oh yeah, depression. Yeah, that's very common because I
Mhm.
think just being here on Earth, it's like a big disconnect from what high frequency souls are used to. So just coming down here and seeing the duality is very hard for a lot of people who are connected to their soul and do have a higher frequency as a base level. So coming down here and seeing things like homelessness or abuse, and what, like there's so many things obviously, but just the things that humans struggle with as a part of the dualistic nature of the third dimension. We feel um, this heart, this compassion, but also it's like heartbreaking because people who have souls that originate from higher frequencies and higher dimensions and then come down here to help, we know that this is not the truth. We know that this is an illusion of the matrix, and then we come down here and we see all these things, and it's sometimes hard to adjust to, and we we operate off of like true love and true abundance and these higher frequency emotions, and then to come here and to see people experiencing low vibrational things, and then also a lot of us are empaths and just absorb energy, so it's very difficult, and a lot of people on a spiritual path experience the depression also as a form of learning your own duality within this realm. Like we all have soul lessons that we need to learn as well, and it's kind of like we come down here to experience the light and the dark, and to explore the dark and alchemize it and bring the light into what can be a very dark situation. So I think depression and anxiety and just feeling alone, isolated, all these feelings are definitely a part of the spiritual journey that a lot of people go through. But the main part is being able to observe yourself going through this and gain mastery over it, and know that this is a dualistic realm, and that we will fluctuate, and there is this, this up and down that humans go through. So just by understanding that in itself is very helpful to understand the fluctuation of energy and how it moves.
Exactly, perfect. Because most of people that start a spiritual journey,
Mm-hmm.
they think, "Oh, I'm going to the spiritual path, and I will just see the light." Not so quite. You have to
Yeah.
integrate the light and the darkness in
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly. Yeah.
So you have any special therapy like light codes?
So yeah, I am a certified life coach, and a yoga teacher and stuff, but now a lot of my stuff is more channeled and just intuitive. Like I've been on this path for quite a long time. So I started out with more traditional things like, mindfulness training, yoga, these types of things. But when I started to get activated as a channel, since then I've just been very intuitive, and I just kind of do whatever is necessary in the moment. I don't stick to a particular modality, but I do read cards. I offer astrology sessions and human design, and just energy healing that comes naturally in the form of light language, usually.
Can we explain us what is light language?
Sure. So, light language is basically higher dimensional frequencies that are portrayed in either speaking or singing. You can write or draw, or you can do movements. So, I do all three of those. And it's important to remember that it's not necessarily like a directly translated language. Like, how um, if you're translating like Spanish to English, this means this and this means this.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not
I know.
necessarily like that. It can be interpreted in different ways depending on the soul like that's receiving it at the time. So basically, I tell people not to worry so much about the meaning. Focus on how it makes you feel. Focus on how the energy moves through you, like when you're receiving the light language activation or the light language upgrade or the healing or whatever it may be. And basically, when you receive these activations and these codes, they they show you more about your own soul and your own self being uncovered. So, a lot of people are kind of disconnected from who they truly are because of all the programming that we experience, from society, from our parents, from school, from all the trauma. So people usually have a lot of beliefs about themselves that aren't necessarily true. They think that they have low self-worth, low self-esteem. They have all these negative thoughts about abundance or like what they're worth. And light language helps to sort of go into those subconscious beliefs and alter them and basically rewire your brain, rewire your energy, upgrade your DNA, and show you your true potential that you can achieve as a human with a soul. Because a lot of people are running on autopilot, just working, just doing things that they're not conscious. Light language helps you become more conscious, helps you become more of a whole human being with the capacity to transcend the human experience and observe yourself here as a human instead of being stuck in the human state and the ego.
Okay, so I think light code is like art therapy. You know what is art therapy? Music, dance, poetry,
Yeah,
acting.
so it's similar to toning in many ways. Like it's basically just energy encapsulated in a
Yeah.
form, whether that
Mhm.
form be speaking, whether that form be like the movement or the light codes that are drawn. It's just energy that's encapsulated. So for me personally, um, sometimes I will get a code or a transmission or whatever, and it's just they'll tell me that it afterwards. Like they'll tell me like the meaning or the feeling or whatever it is afterwards. Like, and sometimes I intentionally do it because I want to evoke a certain feeling. So, for instance, say I'm feeling really depressed or sad one day. That's something that a lot of people could be going through. So, for me personally, if I'm feeling like that, I want to shift that energy. So I'll ask my guides for a light code that's like, okay, I want the light code to embody joy. And so I will do a light code or do a transmission or speak a transmission that embodies the energy of joy. And then that energy of joy then is like in the room with me. It's in my body, it's in my aura. And then I'll start to feel more joyful. And then there's also purging codes. Like when you're feeling like there's a lot of negative energy, you can clear energy with light codes too, which I think a lot of people don't know. But basically, they're not just to bring light in; they're to like clear out things as well. So yeah, the light codes that I do for clearing are generally feel more intense, and you will feel like purging symptoms like nausea or headaches, or like even when people do Reiki or any type of energy healing, when you're doing clearing of negative energy, people often feel physical symptoms because your body is physically releasing things that no longer serves you or stuck or stagnant energy. So that's why it's a little bit intense and people will feel more sick after a healing. But then when you clear out that negative energy, it creates space for positive energy to come in. So it may feel uncomfortable when you're healing that at first, but then you process, you allow that energy to exit and then bring in higher frequency energy and then integrate that energy and ground that into your physical body. And that's pretty much the process of ascension, is clearing the negative energy and putting in that positive energy, integrating it and grounding it. And then that's what causes the elevation of consciousness collectively.
Okay. Do you remember the pandemic times? Do you remember uh,
Sorry,
the pandemic times, 2 to 3 years ago? The
yes,
pandemic.
2020, yeah.
Yes. Do you feel that the people are now more open to spirituality or no?
Since then,
Yes.
so 2020 was definitely a big spike. That's when I was at my peak as a healer. Everyone was getting sessions at that time, I feel, because it was a kind of a time when a lot of people did awaken. They were stuck with big life changes, either relationship changes, job changes, losing a job, or having to transition to another form of work. A lot of people lost people in their lives, like through death from the illness, or weren't able to contact people. So a lot of people were being tested at that time and kind of going through this, dark night of the soul, or this kind of darkness where their daily life was disrupted because of this. For me personally, it didn't really impact me that much because I went through all that a lot earlier in 2012. And so for me, I was already awake and ready to be of service to the people that were awakening at that time. So yeah, I noticed it was a very big shift in the collective where a lot of people were starting to realize that what they were going on autopilot in their lives wasn't working. And I think that served as a really big awakening time for many people. So yeah, definitely.
Do you think we need another pandemic or
Not
no?
necessarily,
Not
no. I don't think that yeah, I think that now there are quite a few more people that are conscious and awake, and once we reach a critical mass of people, then it will start to impact the rest of the humanity as a whole. And also, right now, I do feel that there is actually a split happening where the higher vibrational people are shifting from connecting to low vibration. So there's like soul groups that are shifting and kind of splitting apart. So the people that are on the awakening journey or the spiritual path are starting to meet more like-minded souls and activating each other. And the people that are choosing not to awaken and to just they don't want to awaken, it's not part of their path, and they use their free will not to choose not to, they're going to just be experiencing sort of lower frequency stuff as their choice. And
Mhm.
there's kind of like this split happening where people are, not put the higher frequency people are not putting up with lower frequencies anymore, and they're just wanting to elevate and to do more good instead of focusing on absorbing all the bad and dealing with that. Just some people are just disconnecting and choosing to rise.
So it's a matter in the at the end of the day, it's a matter of choice. Yes, do you agree? Free will
Um,
choice.
Personally, yeah, I do think that there is a level of free will. There's also, of course, some things that are predestined in souls' lives, but I think the choice to awaken is a choice. But once you're on that path, it kind of is a choice that you can't really go back on. I think once you
Yes,
choose to awaken,
I agree. I agree.
it's hard to unchoose that. But yeah,
Yes, I confess with my spiritual awakening 2022 with
yeah.
my twin flame, and we can never go back again. Never go
It's
back
hard
again.
to unsee. Yeah, it's
Yes,
hard to unsee once you have seen everything. Yeah.
yes, very, very hard. So,
Yeah.
one final question. What do you
Sure.
think about artificial intelligence? You think it's a good thing or a bad thing? What do you
Sorry.
think? Artificial intelligence.
Oh, AI. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I think so. Yeah, it's interesting because it could go either way. From the way that I'm seeing it going right now, it is going towards a more negative connotation of how people are using it. I think that it depends on what the majority of people are feeding it, because if people because AI is basically picking up on the collective consciousness. And right now it seems like the collective is sort of going into this like panic mode. A lot of people are very depressed about the uncertainty and like the economy and all these things. A lot of people are just looking to escape. So that's where AI is sort of going down right now. It's not the most positive when you look at it. But I think that if the collective consciousness does shift and we start to use artificial intelligence in a more positive way, in moderation. We still focus on, humans and human connection to real human, but it's used in a way where it's used responsibly and in a way where we're not giving up our brains. We're still consciously thinking and we're still being ourselves, but it's helping us in a way that is supporting our own evolution and given the respect that we should be interacting with technology in a respectful way, not in a way that it's going to, um, get out of hand, which I think it has been getting out of hand a lot lately. But yeah, I think there could be a way to potentially save save what's going on. But yeah, it will take a lot of effort and a lot of focus on the positive instead of going down into the negative.
Okay. Thank you so
Hmm.
much for
Thank
being
you.
here,
Hmm.
Xena, and I hope you will hear soon. I will put all your links in the description after I
Okay.
finish this recording, and I hope you see you soon again,
Thank you
maybe
so much,
next
Rose.
time.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye for now.